that quiet space. Okay, so we'll take a comfortable seat and roll the shoulders up underneath the ears. Keeping the chest lifted, we'll drop the nose down toward the floor. Eyes can be closed or soft. And really connecting with the exhale. Imagining that exhale widening across the ears, widening across the head, and just moving down the length of the body. Just wide exhale breath. And as this wide exhale breath moves down the length of the body, it starts to relax. Starting to relax all the muscles that don't need to hold you up right now. Releasing tension. And into this space that you just created, starting to draw in the inhale, filling up that space with beneficial energy. And by working back and forth between inhaling, balancing energies, and exhaling any excess energy, starting to come in to a balance between the three Ayurvedic energies: spaciousness, groundedness, warmth, heat, and cool. You're trying to balance all three is too challenging right now. Just focus on one. Coming back to the natural breath, notice if the breath has shortened. And if it has, just lengthening it out once again. And on your next inhale, slowly open the eyes and come back into the space. All right, let's start with the shoulders back and down. I'm going to drop the head down toward the floor here. And then we're just going to turn to look over your left shoulder. So just kind of lifting up the nose, looking over the left shoulder. And then we're going to draw the nose back down toward the floor and over to the other side, to the right shoulder. So you're going to look over the shoulder. You're not going to an extreme here. Just kind of where it feels that is your edge. I'm just going to slowly rotate back down, back toward the floor and over toward the other side, over looking over that other shoulder. And then you kind of move at whatever pace feels right. So we're making sort of a crescent shape as we go from one side to the other with the center looking down toward the floor. But as you do this, make sure you're not rounding the back and starting to hunch. You're going to keep that chest lifted. It's just the nose, the neck and the head here that's moving. If that makes sense. Just noticing when you reach your edges, when you're looking over your shoulder, you may want to hold at some point. You may find a place that just feels really good. Stay connected with the breath, quiet the mind. So we're exploring how the neck is doing. And the next time that you're looking over your left shoulder, we're going to keep going. So now you're going to start to lean back and look, not lean back, but take the head back and look up towards the ceiling and slowly roll over to the right side. So I'm going to make this a big circle, but nice and slow. When you come over your right shoulder, then you're back into that crescent shape, going down toward the floor. So I'm going to take this in the full circle. And when you are looking up toward the ceiling, you really got the back of the neck maybe down on your shoulders. Big circle. I'm just going to continue in one direction here. And then we'll pause wherever you are here and go the other way. So again, you're trying to make the biggest circle you can, really looking up toward the ceiling as you come across the back. And maybe it feels right to exhale out the mouth. You're trying to feel some release and needing to do that. And then the next time that the nose is down toward the floor, we'll pause there and then lift the head. All right, let's take the hands. We're going to take your two fingers, one on either side of your ear. So you're going to have the middle fingers on the front and the index fingers behind, and then make circles. So I'm going to massage here, so making circles around the ears. And you can bring the fingers all the way against the base of the fingers are pushing against the head too. Sort of massaging around the outsides of the ears. And you might start to squeeze in on the ears if that feels okay. Just making circles. And we'll circle in the other direction. That might feel a little strange. And then I'm going to slide the fingers down, both fingers together, to right where the jaw meets like your neck. There's a little soft spot at the base of the ear. Just a gentle massage here. So right where the jaw and the neck and the ear kind of come together. So sensitive, that's a pressure point there. So being careful, you don't push too hard. And a couple of times here. I'm going to slide the hands back now to where your skull meets the top of your neck. There's a connection point there, and if you were to look up toward the ceiling, you feel where that connection is. Right in there. We're just going to keeping your face forward. So you can look up to find the point, and then look forward again. You're just going to massage right there where the neck meets the skull. And again, the pressure that you use here is really up to you. You don't want to push too hard. You want to find something that really feels connected. These are energy points in the neck and the head that really have a lot of connection to our whole central nervous system. All right. Couple more here. You're going to release the hands down now and find your collarbone. You're going to move out on the collarbone and down just a little bit. So you start to feel like right those pectoral muscles right in there. Just a couple of circles there. This might be very tender. Again, just noticing how you're feeling here. Massage here. And then we're going to tap on your sternum. Tapping in the sternum, it's a Reiki thing. You're going to tap, of course, starting at the top of the sternum. So you're going to tap, 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 right at the, like where the sternum meets the top of the neck, and then start to just slowly work your way down just a little bit lower. Tap, 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 tap. Use both hands. Tap, 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 tap. And then like right between the breasts. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, and release. All right, so it's a Reiki energy stimulating move. And then take your left hand down and your right hand up and over to the side bend. And then we'll inhale up and over to the other side. Inhale back up to center. Let's extend the legs long. So I'm going to take the legs out. And seated forward bend. So toes up towards the ceiling, coming into staff pose. I'm going to have the hands back, shoulders back. Active feet pushing into your heels. Shoulders back and down, abdominals in, really lifting up to the top of the head. And then from here, we come on forward, leading with your chest. Still trying to lift up like you're pushing a button with the top of your head, and tailbone moving back and behind. And then from here, keep the shoulders back. Go ahead and release your hands. If you can grab your feet, you can do that. If you can't grab the feet, you can bring your hands to the shins or legs. And we're gonna walk the hands over to the right. So we're just walking both hands down. So you are leaning forward still. Walk the hands around until you find a stopping place. You're gonna feel that left side body lengthening out. Try to keep both sit bones down if one's coming up. And then we'll walk the hands back to the feet, coming back to center. And then on over to the other side. So both hands over toward the left. Still a little bit as you're coming forward and twisting. So you feel across the right side body. Both sit bones down. Inhale, we'll come on back to center, so over those feet. And then we'll lift on up. I'm going to take the hands back behind now. Draw the shoulders back, and now lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Might come into a back bend. Might tip the pelvic bone. You might feel okay to look up or behind. And on an inhale, we'll come on up. All right, let's come on into a hands and knees. And once you're here, you can come into a cat-cow, moving with your breath. And then next time that you come into cat pose with the arched back, that'll be the last one. We'll come back to a neutral spine. And then let's take that right leg back behind, reach back through your heel, pressing into your heel, leg straight. We'll go ahead and lift that leg in line with the hips, and then left hand off the floor and extend, balancing here. Try to keep the hips level, try to keep the abdominals supporting the back. And if you want a little more challenge today, on your exhale, bring your elbow to your knee, and then inhale and extend, just an option. And if you're doing that, we'll do 3, and then we'll come back to hold. Otherwise, we're just holding here. Good. Okay, we'll bring the left hand down and that right knee down. Let's come to the other side. So start with pressing back through your left heel, nice straight leg. Gonna lift that leg up in line with the hips and the shoulders, making sure we're not sinking the back, abdominals in. Right hand off the floor and extended here, challenging balance. And then option, if you want, elbow to knee on your exhale, inhaling and extending. Doing that, we're doing 3, then coming back to hold. Good, and we'll bring that hand down and that knee down. Now we're going to take the hands forward and the hips forward, half plank pose. Hips in line with the shoulders and the knees, pushing down into the floor, active hands, active arms. Shoulders back away from the ears, brought across the collarbone. From here, let's swing your left foot out to the side and roll on out for a side plank pose. So your right foot will come down to the floor naturally, stacking your shoulders, stacking your hips. Try to keep your hips forward just as they were. If you want, you could take that right hand up toward the ceiling, or that right hand could stay on your hip. Actively pushing into the hand that's on the floor. That's your strength here. Nice. All right, let's unwind. Come on back to half plank pose. Finding that center, working hard here. So toning the muscles of the arms and the hands. Then let's try the other side to swing that right foot out. That's your tripod stability. And then opening here, stacking hips, stacking shoulders. Your left foot just comes to the floor wherever it feels right. Actively pushing into the hand that's on the floor, toning the muscles there. Breathing. Good, and we'll come one out. Rolling on back to your half plank pose, working hard. All right, let's lower down to the floor. All the way down, reach back through the feet, tops the feet down. Tailbone down, shoulders back, cobra pose, lifting the head and the chest. And then bring the head and the chest back down to the floor. Keep your hands where they are. Tailbone down, try to lift both legs now. Reach back through your feet. Just try to lift the feet off the floor. Maybe you're able to straighten out those knees and maybe get part of the thighs off the floor. Just reaching back through the feet, try to lift them up just a bit. And then soften them down to the floor. On an inhale, cobra pose now. Just the head and the chest. Elbows in, close to the body, holding here. On the exhale, we'll lower the head and the chest back down to the floor. Reach back through your feet. On an inhale, lift your feet. Try to get both feet off the floor, both knees straight. And then we'll release the feet down, lift the head and the chest, cobra. And exhale back down to the floor. Now we'll push up into a half plank pose. And then hips to heels all the way back for a prayer pose. Breathing into your back. One, inhale. We'll come on back up. All right, we're going to work our way all the way up to standing, any way that works here. Okay, let's do this first. So we'll stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Connecting with the feet, active legs. Bring the hands up and over the head. Palms together, crescent pose to the right, dropping down both shoulders in line. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, crescent pose, other side. Inhale, back up to center. Release the arms. Okay, we're going to work on some balancing. It's loud. We are going to be going from tree pose to hand on big toe pose. So you're going to grab a hold of a strap and just have it ready. So I think for the strap, we'll just throw it over your left shoulder. So it's there, it's ready for you. Yeah, and if you want to be near a prop, you can. Try this here. So starting with the right side is our standing side. Your strap is over your left shoulder. I'm going to start with tree pose, rooting into that right foot. So engaging the muscles from your right hip all the way down into that foot, connecting active feet with earth. When you're ready, left foot comes up for any version of tree pose. Connecting with your breath, but also what's down into the earth. Where's your challenge point today? Noticing if you happen to be holding the breath or restricting it, keeping it very shallow. See if you can breathe into all parts of the lungs. And from here, we're going to grab a hold of that strap. If you can, trying to keep it a fluid movement. We're going to release that left leg. Grab a hold or lasso your foot. And walk your hand down the length of the strap so that you can bring your foot up as high as it wants to go today. And you might need to double up when you're holding the strap if you're really needing some extra support there. And on big toe pose, yeah, reconnecting with your right leg, reconnecting with the length in the upper body, not leaning back in a jet ski kind of position. Yeah, challenging if you want to release your hold on your support, challenging your balance, breathing. Notice all those muscles on the right foot, all that active right foot action. Toning the muscles around the right knee as well, not locking that knee. Good. Now from here, let's take that foot out to the side. Again, you could try releasing your support hand. Good. Go anywhere that feels right. Keeping the breath flowing. Notice if it got shallow. Eyes come back in the eye sockets. Notice if they popped forward. More breath here. And let's bring that foot back to center. And then with control, try to release the foot and coming back to stand on 2 feet. Nice work. Yeah, you can roll that ankle on the right side. Might be a little bit tired. If it's not, probably didn't work hard enough. I'm kidding. So let's come on to the other side so you can move that over. So now the strap will just start just by throwing it over your right shoulder. So your left foot is going to be your standing foot, left leg, standing leg. Tree pose, starting with tree. Try to release what did or did not happen on the other side. Doesn't matter. New side, fresh start, tree pose. Always encouraging the breath to stay full, to use that breath energy to channel the breath into the places you need. Focusing the mind on all those little movements, micro movements needed for balancing. All right, from here, we're going to try to make that transition as smooth as possible to slipping your right foot into your strap. It's starting to come up for hand on big toe pose. Both legs are straight. Shoulders are in line with the hips. Still breathing. So actively pushing into your left foot, left leg. You might challenge by releasing any hold on the support. Gaze is soft on a drishti, a point that is not moving somewhere in the room around you, as a soft resting, very gentle rest. From here, we'll take that foot out to the side. Just finding, where's my edge today? I stay present with what I'm doing. Keep breathing. And we'll bring that foot back to center. And with control here, we can release. Letting both feet down, consider strap down. All right, one more balancing posture. So you can have your support close by if needed. I'm gonna have the feet hip distance apart. And take a slight bend to the knees, just a slight bend. You're gonna pick up your right leg and try to cross it over your left. So you're gonna pick it up and cross. And see if you can bring your foot to hook a little bit behind your calf muscle on the left leg. Yeah, so you might need to use some support to get there. Your standing knee is bent. Standing knee is bent. Both hips are forward in the sagittal plane. Yeah, just crossing the knees, maybe hooking that foot. Yeah, and then if you really want here, try to bring your hands to the center of the chest. Squeezing the legs together. Breath still flowing. Relax the jaw if it got tight, relax the face. Good, and we'll unwind. Stand, balance on 2 feet. Okay, we'll try the other side. So if you need to move around to find a different place, but you can have your support wherever it needs to be. Starting with the feet about hip distance apart, we'll take a slight bend to the knees. So keep that bend in the knees, lifting your left leg up, and as much as you're able, wrap it around. The more you bend your standing leg, the easier it'll be to hook your foot to the backside of the calf muscle. So the lower you go, the easier it is to hook. Try to keep your hips forward, sagittal plane. So if they're twisting, then bring them back around. Standing knees slightly bent. Hands to center of the heart if you like, or if you need to have one on a support, of course. Again, nice full breathing. Gaze is soft. And then on an inhale, unwind coming back up to standing. Good work. We're going to come down onto the floor, down onto your a blanket. So I'm seated forward bending. Let's start out with a wide leg. So wide leg, seated forward bend. So you're sitting on the edge of the blanket. And hips are slightly coming forward, double inner spiral on the thighs, taking those thighs down. It's countered by an outer spiral on the shins, which most of us have enough of that. So we really tend to focus more on the inner spiral, which makes the knees straight up and toes straight up. Good. So from here, let's actually do the side bend first because it's fun. I'm going to take the left hand down, straight down from your shoulder, straight down. So we're going to try and keep your torso as upright or as lengthened as possible. Bringing that left hand down, right hand now up and over. So if you like this kind of side bend. So if this opposite hip is rolling up, root it down, lengthening out that side body, reaching to the fingers. And now, just for fun here, the left hand that's on the floor, take it back behind you about 4 or 5 inches and rotate, draw the shoulder back. And then we'll bring the hand back into that straight out from the shoulder line, and then we'll come one up from that side. All right, let's try the other side. So starting with the right hand straight out from the shoulder, dropping down, left hand up and over, side bend here. And again, keeping the opposite hip down, lengthening through the fingers. And then everything staying the same, we're just going to move the left hand, or right hand back a little more behind you and draw the whole setup back a bit. So you're starting to draw your shoulders, head, everything in line with the hands, still dropping down on that side. And then we'll come back to the alignment with the shoulder, and then we'll come on up from there. All right, let's come forward. Wide leg seated forward bend. So hinging at the hips, leading with chest. And if your elbows can touch the floor, you might be able to. If they can, only then you can drop your nose down more toward the floor. If your elbows are nowhere near the floor, then don't worry about that. On inhale, we'll come on back up. All right, support the knees and draw the feet in for Baddha Konasana. So those are the feet together, knees out, your choice about how far forward or in. Most of the bones even though, make sure that it's not lopsided. And coming on forward here. Starting to extend the breathing into the places where you feel this stretch, where you feel the strongest sensation. Inhale, come on back in. Draw the knees together and relax the legs into any position that feels okay, allows you to keep an upright posture. Feeling the need to do Garuda in the arms, we did Garuda in the legs earlier. So stick the arms out. You're going to take your right arm underneath of your left. You're going to try and stack as high as you can, stacking your elbows, then bending the elbows, and bring your palms together if they'll go. If they don't go, you can grab a thumb or wrist or whatever works. Now you're probably feeling your shoulders coming forward, and that's okay. We're going to lift the elbows in line with the floor and the hands starting to move away from the face. I'm going to breathe into that space in the upper back and shoulders. Feeling this. I'm going to do one more here. So with the hands and the elbows where they are, you're going to slide them horizontally, draw your shoulders back behind. So if you can see that or not, draw the shoulders back. It's going to bring your elbows in close to you, and I'll take this into a different part of the shoulders. And Cheryl's going to be careful if she feels anything weird to not go too far behind. So this just takes a different place in the shoulders with the elbows in close. Rest here. And then we'll release the arms on that side. All right, I'm going to try the other side. When you're ready, when the shoulders have relaxed, you're going to take the left arm underneath of the right. You're going to try and stack as high as you can. And then bend the elbows and bring your hands together. Right? Maybe your palms come together, maybe they don't. And then we'll start with this forward motion. So shoulders are forward. We're going to lift the elbows parallel to the floor from hands and into the face. So it's kind of, for me, it's sort of an upper back, middle of the shoulder kind of feeling. Maybe you've got a different spot. They might feel like a little bit separated and forward. And then keeping your elbows still parallel to the floor, just going to draw the shoulders straight back. So it's going to bring the elbows in close to the body and take that stretch into a different place. We'll go ahead and release the arms. All right. You're going to slip off of your blanket into a twist. I'm just going to bend your knees with the hands back behind to start. And the feet mat width or even a little bit wider. I'm going to drop both knees over to the right. Sure, to the right. And bring your foot and your knee together. So foot, knee, kind of come together here. And then you'll pick up that left hand and following the length of the direction of your knee, you're going to wrap all the way around, walking your hands back behind, and then bending the elbows and starting to drop down. So you have full control here. You could keep going further around if you want. I've even seen one person go all the way around and put her head in her foot. So this is one of those that you have full range. She was very young. And on inhale, we'll come on out from that side. Going back to center. I really like this twist because it just gets to all the different parts, shoulders, the hips, the back. I'm going to drop the knees down over to the other side, knee and foot coming together like a mermaid tail. And then following the direction of the knees, we'll wrap all the way around as much as you're wanting to do today. And then bending your elbows and starting to drop the nose down toward the floor. And then I'm going to inhale, we'll unwind. Move on back to center. Come on down onto the back. I'm starting to breathe into the belly. Kind of noticing how's the body right now. We'll pick up the feet for a happy baby pose, reaching up for your ankles or feet or shins. You might rock side to side here, taking your knees up towards your shoulders. And then I'm going to draw the feet together over your head. So you can still hold with the hands, straightening your legs, drawing your feet together. Yeah, good. Pulling a little bit with the arms, trying to pull your feet over your head. Just be a little playful with this. So try to not come to your maximum. Couple breaths here. So trying to breathe in the belly. And then holding either feet or ankles, draw the soles of the feet together, separate the knees and bring your feet in close to the body. So Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. Knees out, see if you can keep flopping them out to the side, pulling the feet in a little more. So breathing down into that belly, soft face, soft eyes. Then we'll release the feet, we'll bring the feet back down to the floor. Stretch the legs out long. And take your arms over your head and reach through your feet, through your fingers. Just really stretching the full length of the body. Press into your heels, or maybe you're pointing your toes, whichever one feels right. Stretching as long as you can get. And then on an exhale, I'm going to bring those hands back down by your side, softening the body and moving into Shavasana, corpse pose. Make yourself comfy. Allow the breath to deepen. Some movement to return to the body. As you're ready, make your way to a seated position. Hands together for heart. Give yourself credit for your practice today, for showing up, for working hard, for staying present. And I will see you next time. Namaste.